Hello. Thanks for clicking on the video. So glad that you're here. So I call this breaking through because that seems to be a theme, especially this January and today. Um, there has been a lot of conversation about stress and anxiety and economic insecurity. Um, when it's when we're having the conversations, I've been noticing, and I've been inviting you to notice as well, how your breathing gets shallow and how uptight your body gets and how it feels like you can't, like you have no choices, right? And this is a really great opportunity. I know I usually hate it when people say things like that, but it is a really great time to use the energy of constraint and restriction that you're feeling to create a different possibility. So, one of the things that this beautiful gal that I was talking to earlier today was saying was that that's fine, great. I'm all for I create my own reality, and um, how am I going to pay the rent, and how am I going to take care of the food for the kids? And these are really great questions, but they're not the questions that are going to create the most. So, part of the reason that we get anxious when we have those kinds of questions going on is because we believe that there's no solution. We believe that there's no alternative. We believe that a lot of times we believe that the amount of money we have in the bank today is the amount of money we're going to have in the bank next week or less, right? Not often do we think, okay, well, more can come in, even if I don't know how. It's part of the thing that happens when you live by a paycheck. You tend to believe, and everything in our culture will tell you, that the only way money can come to you is through your paycheck. And as long as you believe that, that will be your experience. And I'm not making any of that wrong. I am, however, inviting you to entertain the possibility that things that you don't know right now could happen. And I mean good things. I don't mean more bad stuff. But if you're not willing to even entertain the idea that something good could happen, you could win the lottery, you could, somebody could donate money to you. I mean, there's a relative you didn't know you have could die and leave you some money. I mean, if you don't even allow that there are things that you haven't thought of yet that could change your situation or help your situation, then not even things that you haven't even thought of yet could change your situation. Does that make sense? So, you know, uh, so many of the fantastic people that I work with are very level headed. They think really well. They're really smart, you know, and they also know that if this living thing was just a matter of street smarts or book smarts, you would have solved it a long time ago. Whatever the problems that you're having now, or the restrictions that you're feeling, or the disappointments that you're having now, whatever they are, if you could have changed them by being smart, you wouldn't have them right now. And so this is a really great time to start making allowances that there are possibilities that you haven't considered yet. So if that seems kind of far-fetched or airy-fairy, try this on for size. Everybody at some point or another has been to the ocean. And everybody's looked out at the ocean and seen that straight, clear horizon line. And everybody knows that beyond what you can see, there's more world there. I mean, if you're a flat earther, then you're not going to like any of this. So everybody knows that there's more to the world than you can see in this moment. And one of the things that has everybody feeling so crazy in the past few years, but also in the past 18 years or so, is that what we're allowed as humans to be aware of and to our capacities has been getting narrower and narrower and narrower. So what do I mean by that? I mean that your ability to have awareness about things that are beyond what you can see, feel, touch, smell, right? The limited five senses, which not even science agrees with. I mean, I think they're up to 92 senses. So if the world, and by the world, I mean, you know, the Time Warner version of the world or the media version, or what do they call it? Conventional wisdom. So if the agreed upon collective pool says that you're just what somebody else, not even what you can see, feel, and touch, but what somebody else can see, feel, and touch about you, right? So if it can't be put on the video, if it can't be put on a camera, and if can't be caught in a photograph, then it's not real. So what that does is it makes all of your information that you can validate for yourself invalid. And it makes it so that only other people outside of you are in the position of authority to decide whether or not something is real or true. Now, that right there is crazy making, because if you are not the agent of your own self, if you are not the sovereign ruler of your own self, if you are not the one that can determine whether or not something is real for you, then you're always going to be anxious. You're always going to be nervous. You're always going to be suspicious. You're always going to have trust issues because you won't know what to trust. And you will consistently get the message that you are not to be trusted and that you have to put your trust outside of you. That right there is crazy making. Just FYI, that's gaslighting right there. And if you have to put your navigation outside of you, then you have to make sure that whoever you guess in the moment is the one with the most power likes you or takes pity on you. However, you decide to navigate that. Then your well-being is always outside of your hands. And if your well-being is always outside of your hands, you're going to be anxious. You're going to be nervous. You're probably going to have a lot of neck and shoulder problems. You're probably going to have a lot of stomach trouble, some elimination, digestion problems. You may be having shallow breathing or a fast heart. I mean, if your operating system says that you cannot be trusted and that you don't know who can be trusted, but whoever it is, it's outside of you, you're going to have sleeping problems. You're going to have a lot of trouble just getting through every day, because you're never going to be able to have the security of having your own back. and of truly being on your side. So just to underscore this in case it's not coming through, your being on your side is paramount. It's not a luxury. It's not an indulgence. This kind of self-care is absolutely essential to your quality of life and to your quality of relationships, to your being able to support yourself truly, and not just by making good money, but including making good money. Your ability to really own you and to be on your side and to have your back and to trust you no matter what makes all the difference. And whether you're kind of living through hell or having it so great that you don't even know how to imagine it yet. So there's a lot of breaking energy in the world right now, breaking through, breaking apart. That can be really, really liberating when you're able to go with it instead of resisting that energy. And so here's a tool that I invite you to play with. Use it many, many times a day. You can wake up in the morning and say this to yourself like 5 or 10 times and say it, multiple times during the day. You might want to write this down. So just ask yourself, okay, universe, show me what's right about this situation, that when I can perceive it will change everything as if by magic. And everything that doesn't allow that, I destroy and uncreate at all times a godzillion. Right, wrong, good, bad, all 9, pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Oh, yeah. All right, so that's called the clearing phrase, the clearing statement, theclearingstatement.com. You can look it up. It's Access Consciousness Tools. And Dr. Dane here has a great video. He'll explain all that mumbo jumbo to you. And if it's too much of a bother, then just play with this idea of universe, show me what's right about this situation, that when I can perceive it, it will change everything dynamically. And anything that doesn't allow that, pock and pot it all. Just say pock and pot it all. Try the technique, see if it works for you before you have to, look it up and make mental evaluations about it. I like to check out the efficacy of something before I get all stuck up in who and how and why it works or where it came from. But if you're interested in all of that, then go to theclearingstatement.com. So the question here is, universe, show me what's right about this situation, that when I can perceive it, it will change everything dynamically. And anything that doesn't allow that, I destroy and uncreate it all. Yeah. So you may notice you're kind of starting to feel a little lighter in the chest, a little more space, right? And another variation of that is, universe, show me what's right about me today, that when I can perceive it, it will change everything dynamically. And anything that doesn't allow that, I destroy and uncreate at all times a godzillion. So what that is you're destroying and uncreating all the stuff that doesn't allow you to see or perceive what's right about you. I mean, keep in mind, with the Time Warner version of the world and conventional wisdom, it's like being bombarded by, 16 jumbotrons about what's wrong with you. And it's all lies and advertising. So asking the universe to help you see, perceive what's right about you or what's right about the situation will in fact start to move and change the situation. But don't take my word for it. I want you to try this and see how this goes. So I'll put it in the comment section and just write it down, and then use each one of these phrases, what's right about the situation and what's right about me. Like 5 times, 3 times a day. Just repeat each one 5 times, 3 times a day. And just see, well, what does change? Maybe you'll notice that you're breathing a little better. Maybe you'll notice that your digestion's calmed down a little bit. Maybe you'll notice you're laughing a little bit more. Maybe you're noticing that your sleeping is a little better. A lot of times what happens in the beginning is that you really just notice that you forgot to be upset or you forgot to fret before you went to sleep. It's more, it can be very subtle. It can be just a forgetting to be agitated. So see what happens for you, and leave comments, and just start to entertain what's right about this situation. That when you can perceive it, it will change everything dynamically. And you'll be able to, without working at it, you'll be able to stop resisting and actually start to move with what's happening. All right, so thanks so much for watching, and please leave comments or notes. Send me an email, delia@deliajaeger.net. I love to read your messages, and I love to see how this worked for you. All right, take care.